gambling goose cast. It's the gambling goose cast. It's the gambling goose cast. It's the gambling goose cast. If you're a sports fan and wanna bet, this is the right place. Just write your picks on the internet, and I'll put them all together in one parlay. Put it in the books, yeah.
Welcome to episode 60 of the Gambling Goosecast, brought to you by the Hangover Network. It is currently 12:45 in the a.m. on Saturday, April 13th, and today I have some NBA and some MMA picks. Let's start with the NBA picks. All right, so everyone knows the NBA playoffs have started, and if you don't, you know now. There's 4 games today. The first one being the Brooklyn Nets at the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers are favored by 5.5, and we are taking the Nets at plus 5.5. Because it is a low-pressure game for the Nets here. Not many people even had them making the playoffs this year. And this is definitely a high-pressure game for the 76ers. They have all this young talent. I mean, are they going to win playoff games? Who knows? Didn't seem to work out last year. I don't know if Nets win this game, but they keep it closer than 5.5. Put it in the books. Nets plus 5.5. Next game, the Orlando Magic at the Toronto Raptors. Raptors are favored by 8.5, and we are taking the underdog again, the Magic, at plus 8.5. The Magic are 8-2 in their last 10. They have been playing great since the All-Star break, and the Raptors are also 8-2 in their last 10, so expect this to be a great game. The Raptors will win this game, but the Magic will cover. Put in the books, Magic plus 8.5. Next up, we have the Clippers at the LA Clippers at the Golden State Warriors. Warriors are favored by 13, and that's who we are taking. The Warriors own the Clippers, winning 8 out of their last 10 against them, 6 of those by double digits. Also, it's playoffs where the Warriors really start to take stride, and it seems like they actually start trying. And they probably sweep the Clippers here and win every single game by double digits. Put in the books, Warriors minus 13. And finally, we have the Spurs at the Denver Nuggets. Nuggets are favored by 6. And we're taking the underdog, Spurs plus 6. The season series between these two is 2-2. The Nuggets have been great at home, though, with a record of 34-7. But playoff basketball is different, and the Spurs know that all too well. This game smells of a potential upset. Take the Spurs at plus 6. Put in the books. All right, that's it for the NBA. We got the Nets plus 5.5 at minus 105, 100 to win 95-24. Magic plus 8.5 at minus 105. We got 100 to win 95-24. Warriors minus 13 at minus 105, 100 to win 95-24. And Spurs plus 6 at minus 115, 100 to win 86-96. We parlayed them all together. 25 to win 322-84. And I didn't tell you the times for these games. Let me check here quick. I believe the first game is the Nets. Let's see. All right, we got the Nets game. Starts at 1:30 p.m. This is all Central Time. The Raptors Magic game is at 4 p.m. The Warriors Clippers game is at 7 p.m. And the Spurs and Nuggets is at 9:30 p.m. So, a full day of basketball, full day of UFC. This is what I'm getting to next. But, let's see here. All right, yeah. I got all the times right. Way to be prepared, Bill. Thanks. Next up, though, those were your NBA picks. Next up is going to be the UFC 236 picks. All right. We got UFC 236. There's 2 championship fights, both interim. First one being Israel Adesanya versus Kelvin Gastelum for the interim middleweight championship because Robert Whittaker is sidelined. He had to get hernia surgery about a month ago. And then the main event is Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier for the interim lightweight belt because Khabib Nurmagomedov is out because of a suspension when he jumped in the crowd after beating Conor McGregor. So the first one we're betting on is I'm betting on all these main card fights. So for these bets, I think the pay-per-view starts at 8. Before that, the prelims probably start at 6. But the first fight on the main card that we're betting on is Khalil Roundtree plus 160 versus Eric Anders minus 200. Both these guys have a 3-3 record in the UFC and then there's a no contest for Khalil Roundtree. But we're taking the underdog in Roundtree at plus 160 because Anders is not good. Looked good as of late, losing 3 of 4. If Roundtree comes out with his high-pressure, aggressive game plan, I see him winning in the first round. Put in the books, Khalil Roundtree plus 160. Next up, we have Alan Jouban at minus 115 versus Dwight Grant at minus 115. Jouban is 7-4 in the UFC, while Dwight Grant is 2-0. This fight should be exciting. 2 exciting strikers pitted against each other to try to move up the ranks in the welterweight division. I'm taking Jouban here because of experience and toughness. The guy can take a punch. And either way, it's going to be exciting. I think Jouban probably wins the decision here. Or stops him maybe in the later rounds, like the second or third. But put in the books, Alan Jouban minus 115. Next up, the co-main event. Israel Adesanya minus 185 versus Kelvin Gastelum plus 150. Adesanya is 5-0 in the UFC, and Gastelum is 10-3 in the UFC with 1 no contest. Okay, I'm taking Adesanya here, even though the line isn't the best at minus 185. I just don't see there's any way of him losing. I think he wins it, and wins it in dominant fashion. Gastelum is used to being a shorter fighter, fighting against taller guys, but he's not used to fighting a guy with the footwork and overall striking ability of Adesanya. I just think he's way too technical for him. Now, granted, Gastelum has wrestling, but Adesanya proved against Derek Brunson it is hard to take him down nowadays. So if he can't take him down, it's going to be a very long night or short night if he stops him. But Gastelum's never faced a guy like this. So put in the books, Israel Adesanya minus 185. And finally, we got Dustin Poirier plus 165 versus Max Holloway minus 205. This is for the interim lightweight championship. Poirier is 16-4 in the UFC with 1 no contest, and Max Holloway is 16-3. Both these guys are studs. And when these two first fought 7 years ago, and Dustin Poirier won by first round mounted triangle, no one thought either of these two would have the careers they were going to have. They were young. They both look like good fighters, though. But the streaks these guys went on. Max Holloway is making his lightweight debut after conquering the featherweight division with a 13-fight win streak and 4 consecutive title defenses, while Dustin Poirier made his lightweight return in 2015 and has been on fire since going 8-1. It's only lost to being Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson caught him in the first round and TKO'd him, which Poirier kind of got up. It maybe could have been a bad stoppage. But anyway, this fight, it's going to be insane, and I'm taking Poirier in this because I think it should be closer to a pick'em. Plus 165 for Dustin Poirier is pretty good. Pretty good. And he just has power that I don't think Max Holloway has seen. Anyway, well, I guess power at lightweight. Ever since he moved up, he's gotten more power. And yeah, sure, Max Holloway puts on a pace, and he's short, he's tough. But I don't know how many of those Poirier shots he's going to be able to take. And I have Poirier winning here. So put in the books, Dustin Poirier plus 165. All right, those are my picks. We got Khalil Roundtree plus 160, bet 100 to win 160. Alan Jouban minus 115, 100 to win 86.96. Israel Adesanya minus 185, 100 to win 54.05. Dustin Poirier plus 165, we bet 100 to win 165. And we parlayed them, 25 to win 471.10. And we also parlayed all our bets of the day, all 8 of them, all NBA, all MMA. We bet 25 to win $6,877.51. And those are my picks for the day. If you ever want to call in, I say this every episode, it's 715-256-7840. Leave a message with your pick, your name, and your reason why you picked it. There's a lot of action today in NBA, and I believe I'll have a podcast out for Sunday, and I'll be betting on all the NBA playoff games. And then right now, currently the Masters are going on. My picks are doing okay. Xander, I believe, is in second, and then Bryson DeChambeau. He started out great with the first round lead, and he had a rough day. But our picks are staying in there. Kisner, he's up there in the top 15, I believe. And Matt Kuchar's in the top 10. So, yeah, if one of those hits, big money. Big money. Big money.
Money, 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 money.
But that is it for this episode. So put in the books and win some fucking money.
I'm like Chipos, man. I got this, yeah.
I'll win every fight. You kidding me? Yeah. I will smash his head and eat it. Listen, D is upset.